Hello and welcome back everybody to the Geek Tech Show. In today's video we are going to be reviewing this interesting thing that I bought online. This is the Bear Grylls survival kit that you're supposed to actually use in case you're stranded in the middle of nowhere in the woods or something like that. This thing is something that is right now is going pretty cheap online because not everybody is actually getting this. Specifically, I bought this right off eBay itself, but you can also get this off Amazon as well. So the big question is this worth the money that you actually pay for, specifically in the age of the apocalypse? Do you really need something like this? Well, you do. You should probably have some kind of a place that you can actually store things in. And specifically, let's say you're stranded in the middle of nowhere and for survival purposes, this is a very small, flimsy little kit that you can actually use and get all your essentials out. So that being said, it makes it like the ideal thing, and it's also sponsored by Bear Grylls and Garble, two pretty good companies. I mean, not companies, but Bear Grylls, he is the master survivalist. And Garble itself, well, that is a company that makes a lot of amazing tools that I really like this company too. So what actually could go wrong by Bear Grylls sponsoring something and creating his own kit over here that you can actually use? So I'll be checking it out and seeing and telling you if this is something you should invest money in. I know this is a few years old. In fact, this thing came out, well, 7 or 8 years ago, to be exact, and yet they're still selling those things. So let's check it out and see if this is really what you should be getting. And of course, at the end of the video, you're going to be seeing if I give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, meaning that it's not really good for you if it does get a very bad rating. Let's get started right now and check it out and see what is inside this toolkit. So let's check out what the Garble survival kit includes right inside here. Well, one thing I do like about this is that this whole material is pretty much well made over here, and it looks kind of cool as well. On the back, I'm not too fond of this thing right here. There's a few things that it gives you useful information. Let's open this up and see what is inside. I do like the way this actually looks too. Opening this up, inside it's actually double barrel over here. There's actually a second layer of protection for everything that is included. So one way for you to do this is actually to pull this entire thing right out of here. Just like that. And now we have this whole thing here that is included, all compassed in a very small, neat little space over here, and it's also waterproof. So this is the good thing about this. Inside you have a bunch of useful things for self-survival in case you're stranded in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of like the best of variety in a very small, neat little package over here. So it is not everything you need, but pretty much it is the cheap version of everything you might actually need for survival purposes. We start with this. This is aluminium right here, and what it actually does, it's a way for you to heat yourself up, or of course if you're lacking body heat, this is something you potentially could actually get and use as well. It's probably not really that good because you can just get like a tin foil and use it for the same kind of purposes, and it's probably not as good as actual jacket that you can use in case you're pretty cold outside, but this probably will work for the rest of your body. It is pretty small, by the way, and it's super cheap here. There's a lot of cheap things that are included over here, so this is not really something I really recommend for people to really get. but it does come with this booklet right here that gives you like some miniature survival tools, like best of in case you actually need to, priorities of survival. Well, think about this way: if you're standing in the middle of nowhere, probably want to have something to read, and best to read something versus nothing. And actually the real use of this, because this is not really very survival things, this is like basic things that you should actually already know. What I would actually use this for is just set this on fire in case you need to warm yourself up here. In talking about fire, we do have this. So this is actually a way for you to strike a fire. What you're going to be doing is trying to strike a fire with this, but this doesn't work. So pretty much this is just garbage right out of the box here. And unless, oh, I did have a small spark here before you set up this whole place on fire. It actually doesn't work almost at all. I did have a little bit, you could see like a little bit sparking does happen here, but you have to really, you see, you have to really strike this pretty hard in order to see something come out of this thing. And this is just a bad tool. I mean, it's better than nothing, but most likely it's not going to set anything on fire whatsoever with this miniature spark here. You have to like super hard hit this, or like really lucky hit bar with this to be able to set anything on fire. And your chances of setting something on fire with this is almost slim to none. So yeah, better something than nothing, but this is probably the worst possible tool I can imagine in a survival situation right here. Didn't do nothing. Now we have this, which is some kind of a paracord, really cheap material for you to use to tie something. You might actually need something like this, but this is just I don't know, it's just not enough of enough rope here for anything really useful. But then again, if you need some rope and you don't have any rope, better something than nothing. So this is like the best of kid of like things you might need, and yet they're not really good. There's not really much good here. Now what's this? There's some couple wire here. I'm not sure what good this thing is gonna do for you. It doesn't come, unfortunately, this is not the instructions what is inside of this thing. So you'll have to by yourself to try to figure out what is this for, what am I going to be using this for. And we have like, I have no idea what you're going to be using this for. Maybe if you have like ear infection or something. This is like super useless. Now this is okay. Oh, we got something useful here. A whistle that you might actually need to say that you really need help, because you probably will if this is all the survival tools you're getting here. Now this is more useful here. At least we got some real matches here that we can use. So with that garbage that we had over there that doesn't work, we have a few tries for you to try to save your life with some real waterproof matches, supposedly waterproof that is. And we have a strike thing right here. Once you get it out of here, I don't think it's going to be waterproof anymore. And we have a miniature sewing kit. I guess if you're stranded on some kind of an island, well, this is great because you can sew a few buttons in case you need to. So this is kind of useful, I would say. And I don't know if this is like a fishing line here. It looks like this might be a fishing line. Yep, it's a fishing line. So I guess you can create your own and start to try to fish in case you're standing in somewhere next to a body of water. Of course, you will need to have some kind of a wood thing and try to get it out of here, which is okay. Mini rope. This is like a dental floss or something. It looks like dental floss, but it's not. I don't know what is this for. And we have this, which is instruction used for holographic mirror. This could be useful. Not sure why it is in here. And there's a miniature mirror here. Supposed to be a mirror. Oh, this is nice. Probably the only nice thing that we have here. This is cool. So you can like try to signal to somebody in case you're somewhere stranded using this thing. So this is actually kind of a cool thing to have. So I like that. There's very few like really useful things here. There is this right here. I'm not exactly sure what is the purpose of this thing here specifically, but I guess you can use it for something. And we have a miniature light. It's probably like the worst possible kind of a cheap kind of light. One thing I really dislike about this kit is just the amount of garbage that is included here. It is like a good idea, but a lot of like real trash is in here. And guess what? You can't even use this because the battery died. So we have to open this up and replace it with a new battery. But this is next to useless to nothing. Look at how flimsy small this is. Which brings me to probably the best thing about this. We have some multi-tool, which is miniature. I like the miniature small size. This is probably worth this entire package, by the way, because we finally have something of quality in here versus the rest of it was like pure, almost pure junk here. And we have this. We have a knife here. Yes, finally we have something we can actually use here. So pretty much out of all those things here that we have right now, which is multi-tool with a bunch of small little things here that you could use. So it's kind of like best of almost nothing is included here, but this is kind of nail file, like small little thing. So this is good. Okay, I mean it's not great, but those are the only really good things that I found inside this thing. Everything else is just pure cheap junk, but those are the ones that I think are good inside of this box. And this is the junk that is pretty much included in here. You can see right now. So I think I'll give this a rating right now after taking a look at this. This is like all of this is pretty much junkyard stuff. Good stuff. And the actual case all by itself, I would say $12 for all of the good stuff, and let's say like $2 worth of garbage is included here. Altogether this thing gets the survival rating of -10 in my opinion. And probably if you want to really rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say the real rating of this would be, can you survive by this? Like maybe better than nothing, maybe like 2 out of 10 scale. I don't really recommend for you to get something like this, but I do recommend for you to take your own package that you have and put some things, survival tools in here, lots of things that are missing here, band-aids, real flashlight, some good knife, stuff like that, and all this junk is not needed and should be replaced with some quality things in case you do need to survive in the middle of nowhere. So overall, we do have a very nice case and potential to this bag. but it was just bad idea overall. So don't buy this. It's not worth it. Lots of junk that is included in here, but for intents and purposes, in case of the zombie apocalypse, make your own survival case here. That is probably the best idea that I would actually do. So this is the stuff I'm keeping. Everything else just going to be throwing away. I kind of forgot about this. I think this is also useful, so I'll be putting this also on the inside here. But overall, that is something that they could have just used something else to do the same exact job. You could actually just go find your own tin foil and just post it up all inside of a box and use it for similar purposes just like it. Well, congratulations, you got all the way to the end, and if you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit the join up button so you can never miss a single great video. So you probably know already what are my thoughts about this, because I already took apart all this thing in here and told you what I really think about this. But let's get into the thumbs down or the thumbs up over here to give it a final verdict. So my final verdict is triple thumbs down for this thing. I think this is like essentially garbage. It's not really much of use here, especially for a survival situation. Now that being said, there was a few interesting multi-tools and other interesting things that this actually had in this, but I think it actually missed the spot by a big time thing. So instead of giving us the worst out of everything, they could have just really slimmed it down to the best of tools, and maybe even I wouldn't mind paying extra, like maybe $50 for something that is of quality. Instead, you're getting a bunch of little junk all combined, and some of it is super cheap, all in one small location. So this was a brilliant idea that was executed totally wrong, and because of that, it gets really a thumbs down in my book. If you do get one of those things, these are really not good for you. There's not much you can actually do with this, but there's a few good uses for it, and that's actually a good thing. And I did find something that was useful here. So the multi-tool, a few other interesting things that I got out of this thing, and specifically this is a very interesting case that is waterproof, water resistant, and you can actually create your own first aid kit with this very good and handy thing. That's what I'm actually going to do with this, and probably the rest of it is going to go directly on eBay. Maybe some other sucker won't want to buy this. And it's really unfortunate because I like Bear Grylls and I like Garbo, but they missed the spot on this one. So what can you do? Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this Geek Tech show, and I want to see you on the inside. So make sure you subscribe, and see you in the next episode of the Geek Tech show.